Hello. When a car doesn't start and it just turns over, it's common to suspect fuel issues such as the fuel pump and other components such as spark plug cables, and so forth. But people tend to forget about sensors such as the crankshaft position sensor. If this sensor is not working properly, it will cause the car to just turn over and not start. So in this video, I'm going to replace the crankshaft position sensor due to it causing no start issues. The sensor is located on the side where all of the belts are at, located near the main pulley, and as you can see here, I'm just testing the sensor. I am checking out its continuity and resistance, and you can see that there is nothing happening. Before working on the car, it's best to unplug the battery. You will be working near the belts and pulleys, so it's better to be safe than sorry. So this is the crankshaft position sensor. I wanted to show how I tested the sensor, so I'm using the old one from the car to show how I tested the sensor. I couldn't show it while it was in the car because of the tight space it's in, so I'll be showing it outside right here. So as you can see, this is the sensor and here are the two leads. Right here and right here. So the way I tested it, because of the tight space it's in, while in the car, I put these wire extensions to the contact points. I used these connectors attached to some standard wire, and I spliced the other end of the wire. This end connects to the leads of the sensor, and this other end connects to the multimeter. So I would install the connectors like this, connect them on one lead on the sensor, and then connect the other wire connector to the other lead in the sensor. Then I would connect my multimeter to these ends of the wire to get the reading, to get the ohms readings. So back to the removal process of the sensor. The sensor is located near the pulley. I did have to take out the passenger side tire to gain access to the sensor. I used a small 1/4-inch ratchet to remove the one bolt holding down the sensor. After the one bolt is out, the sensor should be able to come out. It is a little bit of a tight space, so just be aware of that and just try to wiggle around until the bolt can get loose. Once the bolt was loosened enough, I used my hand to loosen the rest of the bolt. The sensor I also want to add that I believe this part did go bad prematurely. There was a leak at the water pump and liquid was reaching this sensor. When I saw the sensor, it was corroded and rusted due to the liquid. I think if there was no liquid hitting the sensor, I feel the sensor would still be okay. Now putting back the sensor is just the opposite of the removal process. The sensor simply snaps into place. It should be able to slide right into the groove. Again, as a reminder, it is a tight space, so move around as you need when installing the new sensor. I did buy this crankshaft position sensor at my local parts store. I'll put the part details in the description below. They do have this sensor available online such as eBay and Amazon, however, but sometimes electronics parts like these don't work out like you want them to when you buy them on eBay and Amazon. But I've had some good experiences with parts bought online. I feel like a lot of the parts that I've bought were pretty good, especially for the price. Sometimes the parts are significantly cheaper than at the local parts store. It just depends on the parts and things like that. Even though the part may be inexpensive, but they could be inexpensive for a reason. So that's something to look out for. So after the sensor is installed, don't forget to install the connector that connects to the sensor. Also don't forget about the wheels and battery. Thank you so much for watching this sensor replacement video. I hope that this can help you in your repairs.